Hello, and thank you for your interest in ProConnect Tax Online. In this video, I will be introducing ProConnect Tax Online to you. I will highlight the program, including the functionality and some key features, in order to demonstrate that ProConnect Tax Online is the best web-based professional tax software available today. And if you'd prefer, feel free to shorten ProConnect Tax Online to PTO. That initialism is commonly used when referring to ProConnect Tax Online. Let's begin with the background for ProConnect Tax Online. ProConnect Tax Online is a 100% online tax solution. What does that mean? It means that your program is always up to date. No more will you have to update your software. No more will you need to manage your database storage for your tax documents. With ProConnect Tax Online, you have the option of adopting or continuing a remote, paperless workflow and all the advantages that come with it. It also means that you can access ProConnect Tax Online from any supported device with an internet connection. ProConnect Tax Online supports both Mac and PC, as well as mobile devices like tablets and even smartphones. ProConnect Tax Online is entirely browser-based, and you will be able to utilize Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, or Safari when accessing ProConnect Tax Online. You'll also benefit from integration with QuickBooks Online Accountant, allowing you to manage your clients and workflow on a unified platform, as well as automate data entry for your bookkeeping clients. And of course, you're not alone. We have dedicated chat and phone support through our customer success team. If you ever find that you need a little help, Intuit is there for you at no extra cost. ProConnect Tax Online also supports over 5,600 forms. With the robustness of the Lacerte tax engine, you are not sacrificing tax calculations and accuracy for the convenience of the cloud. On this screen, you can see the main tax types supported within ProConnect Tax Online. The Tax Hub is where we'll begin our demonstration. Here, you can find a persistent column along the left that will serve as your main navigation panel throughout ProConnect Tax Online. It will allow you to quickly navigate through the program. It also includes a search box, allowing you to browse our knowledge base for articles pertaining to ProConnect Tax Online, as well as the community, where you will find questions and answers submitted by the Intuit community of tax and accounting professionals. You can also find a gear icon denoting program settings. This gear icon will allow you to enter preparer information, including a P10 and any other applicable pins or identifying information. Within the data entry section of the tax return, you will be able to tell the program which preparer needs to appear on the signature line for that particular return. It also shows where you can enter firm information. This information will also generate on the tax return. Of special significance is the EFIN, or Electronic Filing Identification Number. It will be entered within this firm information section and is required if you intend on electronically filing a tax return in any professional tax software. If you do not have an EFIN, you must apply for one through the IRS's e-services platform. You are also able to invite users via the program settings. Anyone who uses ProConnect Tax Online must be invited as a user, but you have the option to restrict which clients they have access to. Remember, you can have an unlimited number of users within ProConnect Tax Online. Also, please note that within settings, you can find the conversion wizard. This tool is used to convert data from other software into ProConnect Tax Online. This essentially allows you to pro forma or transfer information from the prior year tax software into the current year of ProConnect Tax Online. Navigation through ProConnect Tax Online is very open-ended. This allows you to find a workflow or navigation method that works best for you. Let me introduce the organization of the program's Tax Returns tab, or Tax Hub, and Clients tab so that you can begin to see how you will prefer to work within the program. The Tax Hub is the more traditional view. By default, it will show you all the tax returns sorted by tax type for a particular tax year. This allows you to view a tax return by clicking on the name of the tax return or by utilizing the Actions column to view the return. You can also search or filter this list to find a particular client or clients. Unlike traditional desktop software, all of the years for ProConnect Tax Online are contained within this platform. Simply clicking the year drop-down allows you to change which year's tax returns are shown. Notice that you don't have to view tax returns by return type. You have the option to view returns by e-file progress or by return status. You are able to fully customize the list of statuses to best fit your workflow. From this screen, I can begin a return by clicking on Create Tax Return in the upper right. Before I do that, though, let's take a look at another view, the Clients tab. Clicking the Clients tab will open the list of clients that I have for all tax years. This is like a modernized Rolodex that allows you to view or search for any client. Upon opening a client, you will find their contact information, as well as the tax returns you have prepared for them. This allows you to see all of a client's returns in one spot, instead of having to open multiple programs to find them. As before, we can click on the return name or use the Actions column to view a return for this client. Also contained here are two tabs besides the Tax Returns tab. They contain the Tax Plan module as well as the Document Storage platform. The Tax Plan utility allows you to create a tax plan of up to 3 years with 3 cases. These tax plans use a starting point return as the base year for planning purposes. The Documents tab allows you to save documents pertaining to this client sorted by tax year and using a file structure that I create. This allows me to switch between years to view documents for this client and, most importantly, allows me to produce these documents or find them from virtually anywhere due to them being saved in the cloud through ProConnect Tax Online. Let's go back to the Tax Returns tab for this client. Or I could go back to the Main Tax Returns tab and click on the button in the upper right to create a tax return. After clicking on Create Tax Return, a screen will appear. Here you are given some options to choose what type of return to create and for what tax year. You can choose to edit the return name, which can always be renamed later, and to transfer data from a prior year return in order to begin the return with key information already completed. Hitting Save will create this new tax return. After the return has been created, we are brought to the Profile tab. This is the foundation of the return. It will allow us to add states and tell the program what we will be electronically filing. Adding a state is very straightforward. Either choose the state from the drop-down or search. Once you've completed this profile information, you will no longer start here when opening the return. While you can always click on the Profile tab to make edits in the future, from here on out you will be placed directly in the Input Return tab when viewing or opening this return. Let's take a closer look at the Input Return tab. The Input Return tab allows you to enter information directly within the return. ProConnect Tax Online organizes potential input by category. These categories may be general or income, deductions or credits, etc. This allows you to find input that is needed by starting with the applicable broad category and narrowing down to the specific input you are looking for. If you prefer, you can also search for input. This allows you to search for section items, which are the highest level of organization below the main categories. You can also search for field descriptions, which are the input labels for the input fields themselves. And finally, you can search for field data, which is user-entered, imported, or transferred input like Social Security numbers or specific amounts within the inputs themselves. You can also sort by views, all or in use. This allows you to filter all input screens or filter it so that it's only the ones that are in use. This in use will remove any input screen without data entered and will remove any line items or specific input fields that don't have any input, which is a fantastic way to review the return, which we'll talk about a little later, but also very convenient to find specific input, especially if you've made it before. Let's look at an example. You may have clients that have income reported on a partnership's K-1. Because this is a type of income, expanding the income section will allow us to narrow down our categories to find a new category labeled pass-through K-1s. Expanding this section allows us to choose the partnership or 1065 info, which will take us to the input screen where we can begin entering this K-1 information. Many input screens within ProConnect Tax Online will have tabs across the top. These tabs allow you to enter more than one form or activity that is related to the selected input screen. In this example, if the taxpayers had more than one K-1 for a partnership, you could select the plus sign next to the current tab to create a new input tab for this second K-1. You can also click on the icon with 3 horizontal lines, sometimes affectionately called the hamburger icon. This will take you to a table-like input screen that lists all activities, schedules, or assets that you have entered for this particular category. This quick entry grid allows you to enter high-level information with the option to click on the Details button in order to enter specific or more detailed information. Finally, within some input screens, you'll find another layer of tabs towards the top. These tabs will let you jump even further into the input screen in order to enter specific information about the category. Please note that some of these categories can be found by clicking on the 3 vertical dots towards the upper right of the input screen. In general, this organization and style carries throughout the program. Therefore, what you will likely find is that if you are well versed in entering common forms and activities, you will be able to quickly apply that skill to entering other activities, even those you might not have entered before. Now that we have taken a look at the Input Return tab, let me show you how to view the tax forms, diagnostics, and suggestions as part of the review process. We may be inclined to click on the Check Return tab towards the top of the screen. While this will allow us to view the forms, suggestions, and critical diagnostics, you can also access the tax forms while on the Input Return tab. To do so, click on the Preview Forms button located towards the upper right. This will expand a new browser window. It will allow you to view the federal and the state forms. Notice that we can apply a filter to show all forms or just the applicable or forms that are being generated in this return. From there, you can even search for a specific form, schedule, or document in order to more quickly access it. The key feature regarding this Preview Forms mode is that you can now drag this window onto another monitor. This allows you to have the tax forms open while you're making input. When we click on the Check Return tab, we see a similar view when we look at forms. However, we are now also able to view a tax summary, as well as the suggestions and critical diagnostics. The summary will list amounts as they were reported in prior years. This is an extremely useful tool when reviewing the return as part of basic diagnostic work, and it also gives you insight into understanding how a client's tax situation may have changed year over year. Critical diagnostics go just a bit further. They will essentially list incorrect or, more commonly, missing information within the return that will likely cause a rejection if not corrected. Very conveniently, you're able to view the diagnostic and make changes directly from the Check Return tab without the need to go back to the Input Return tab. However, we do give you the option to quickly view the input screen if you need more context in regards to this or a particular diagnostic. Diagnostics also have a reference number, which is extremely useful if the need arises to contact our customer success support team for assistance. Once you've corrected the critical diagnostics, clicking Refresh Diagnostics will remove them from the list of critical diagnostics if they have in fact been cleared. If not, they will remain in this list. Suggestions are also a type of diagnostic. I like to refer to them as a heads-up diagnostic. They are not necessarily items that need correction, but they are something that we want to draw your attention to. These suggestions are a key component to the robustness of ProConnect Tax Online. Many times you can severely reduce your client's tax liability or avoid an embarrassing oversight by reviewing these suggestions. If the suggestion doesn't apply, you can safely ignore them. Otherwise, you can correct them the same way we correct critical diagnostics above. These suggestions really act as your co-pilot when reviewing the return. Now that we have completed our input and reviewed the forms and diagnostics, we're ready to file the return. Filing the return is a streamlined process in ProConnect Tax Online that allows you to quickly print or electronically file the return. Let's head to the File Return tab. Notice that we're not able to file this return because the critical diagnostics have not been cleared. You can, however, click on the link to view and resolve these critical diagnostics. Once these diagnostics are cleared, you can select the federal and state returns that you want to file. Then you press the E-File Now button. This button means what it says. It is just like dropping the return into a mailbox, as there is not a way to retrieve the return after it is filed. For timely filing, the return is considered to be filed at the time just after you press E-File Now and the return is received at Intuit's e-file server. Also, before you e-file, consider utilizing e-signature to collect e-file authorization signatures from your clients. E-signature will work with any return type and will allow you to collect signatures on any document you so choose. However, you are responsible for ensuring that an electronic signature is compliant for any document you may send to a client. E-signature is truly a huge time saver. It allows you to retrieve signatures from clients who may be less than eager to come visit you or that may be unable to meet in person. E-signature is the only feature within ProConnect Tax Online that is not inclusive of the price of the return credit. You must purchase e-signature separately, but you can benefit from bulk discounts. Also, you may decide that you want to print the return or view the PDF of the return, or maybe you're paper filing the return. View Print Return PDF will generate a PDF version of the tax return. You can then save or print the return as needed. Printing the return or e-filing the return the first time will deduct a credit from your return bank. Unless you change the Social Security number or EIN, you will not be charged another credit on this client's return after either generating the PDF or e-filing the return. So you can print the return, e-file the return, and print the return again, never being deducted more than one credit. The e-file dashboard is also another convenient resource that will allow you to monitor returns by their e-file status and will allow you to have a finger on the pulse of the transmitted returns. This allows you to act quickly in resolving any problems like rejections that may arise. The e-file dashboard is accessible from the left-hand navigation panel by clicking on e-file dashboard. Let's next turn our attention to two key features in ProConnect Tax Online: Intuit Link and QuickBooks Online Accountant integration. Intuit Link is a collaboration platform for you and your clients. It allows you to send an engagement letter, questionnaire, and document request to all of your clients, including your business clients, like the pass-through clients, your corporate clients, exempt organizations, etc., and of course, your 1040 individual clients. Link can also serve as a channel of communication for your clients to ask specific questions about the questionnaire or document request you send to them. Intuit Link is an included component of ProConnect Tax Online and does not incur any additional costs. You can access Intuit Link from the left-hand navigation panel. The first time you visit this section, you'll be shown an overview of how the platform works. As mentioned, you are able to invite clients to answer questions and upload documents. You're able to easily track the progress of these requests, and very conveniently for individual 1040 clients, you can import select source documents directly into the program. Before you create your first request, I recommend adjusting your Intuit Link settings. Clicking on the Settings link towards the upper right of the Intuit Link dashboard will allow you to make these adjustments. With these settings, you can add a firm logo, subscribe to a daily digest email containing your client's activities for the prior day, and you can edit your invitation email. This is the first thing your clients will see after they get your request. You can also create templates or utilize the quick start templates that we provide. These templates include a fully customizable engagement letter, questionnaire, and document checklist. When you're finished with these settings, you can choose to hit done at the bottom, or you can hit back towards the top to go back to your main Intuit Link dashboard. And now that we've adjusted our settings, let's create a request. When you invite clients to Intuit Link, you have the option to choose the template that you want to use. But you also have the option to apply any last-minute changes directly from this screen as well. Your client can then access Intuit Link after the invitation has been sent and they have accepted it. Intuit Link for your clients is also web-based. No need to have an app, and most taxpayers participate with Intuit Link on their phone, but a PC or a Mac would work as well. They can answer the questions you have asked and can upload documents by either connecting with their financial institution, uploading a digital document, or if they are on a mobile device, they can snap a picture and submit the document without having to scan or save files. By the way, Intuit Link allows you to act as the taxpayer. This will let you upload documents or answer questions on their behalf. Throughout this process, you can also monitor the progress of your clients using the Intuit Link dashboard. You can also view the activities they have taken and when they have done them using the activity feed. Finally, within the client's tax return, you're able to import certain select source documents like the W-2s and 1099s. To import these documents from within the return, you'll find the Intuit Link tray along the right-hand side. Clicking on this tray will expand it, and then by proceeding to the document checklist, we can then choose which documents we want to import into the program. This allows you to avoid the need for direct data entry and automates a significant portion of your data entry work. QuickBooks Online Accountant integrates with ProConnect Tax Online. In fact, the first thing you may notice within ProConnect Tax Online or within QuickBooks Online Accountant, or QBOA for short, is that your client list is shared between the two platforms. From within QBOA, you can even sort to only include your ProConnect Tax Online or tax clients. You can also create a tax return for clients or open an existing return directly from this client list within QBOA. Having a shared client list also allows you to utilize the Work tab within QBOA for your tax clients. From here, you can create projects and assign tasks to specific users, allowing you and all the users in your firm to have a bird's eye view of what work is being completed or is in progress. For your QuickBooks Online clients, you can also take advantage of the Prep for Taxes feature within QBOA. To find this valuable automation feature, first open a client's company file. Then choose the Accountant Tools and select Prep for Taxes. Prep for Taxes provides you a way to review and adjust information from a client's books and allows you to map amounts to specific line items on the tax return. Now, the program is smart and it's going to map many of the common items for you. However, you may have to map some of your miscellaneous categories that are a little bit more subjective. The good news is that after you have mapped this client, Prep for Taxes will remember your key mappings for the future. Now, you can always make adjustments too and decide that a certain amount maybe belongs on a different line item on the return. You can also adjust what return type this client needs to file from the tax mapping section. Once you've reviewed the tax mappings, you can either create a new return, update an existing return, or export this information to a CSV or spreadsheet file. I'm going to go ahead and update an existing return and choose the return that I want to update. And after updating or creating the return, you can then review by utilizing the Check Return tab within ProConnect Tax Online. You can also make any additional input within the return by going to the Input Return tab. By utilizing Prep for Taxes, you have significantly reduced the input required for your business clients or sole proprietors through some key automation. Another huge time saver with ProConnect Tax Online.